Now, goodness. The photographer has asked if the extended Lumbrecht family could gather out by the gazebo. We're going to do some photos real quick. Thank you.
Lumberg family, don't go anywhere so quick. A little bit of a false start there. You guys having a great time tonight? Awesome. I hope I taught you how not to dip a woman. Words of wisdom, make sure you don't have a chair or any other object that can impede your feet right in front of you. Thank you to all of you so very much for being here tonight. Such a large group of family and friends. Morris and I are truly blessed to have all of you here today. Your presence really means a lot to the both of us. A while back, Amaris shared with me that somebody in her family said that she would never find somebody who talks as much as she does. I've just got one thing to say to that. Amaris, hold my beer. And speaking of which, back when we were going through wedding invites and also looking for our photographer, saw some ideas of different designs, whatnot, and even in one of the wedding sample pictures, having the bride and groom's initials behind them at the ceremony, I thought, oh, that's a pretty, or at the reception, I thought, that's a pretty cool idea, but then I realized, oh, if we got AA up there, people might think they showed up to the wrong event. So, yeah.
That's true.
Anyway, as I've been thinking about this speech for many months, one question really came to my mind. How much does love cost? That was a rhetorical question. A lot of you don't know, in fact, I even got a question here tonight about how Amaris and I met. It was actually through Christian Mingle online dating. But I do not like online dating, to be honest, just to keep it short. I was done with online dating. I was done with paying money into something that I wasn't getting any returns on. And so a few years ago, I stopped subscribing. I kept my profile visible, just so that way somebody saw me or I saw them, maybe could send a smile or a wink. But if you don't pay money into these things, you can't read emails, you can't send emails. So I made it clear on my profile that it's pretty easy to find me if you want to look for me online, i.e. Facebook. And July, I think it was 3 years ago, I happened to see Amaris' profile and I sent her one of those smiles or winks. And the next morning, I believe it was, I happened to see that she had sent an email back and instant message. Now, I had made it clear I can't read those things. And it's like, okay. So over the next week, I'm checking in to see, if she has sent me anything on Facebook, and nothing. I'm checking her profile on Christian Mingle. Again, there's really nothing going on there. And how long is this going to take? And I was learning something about her that, for those of you who know me, you might be surprised at hearing this, but those of you who know her, you're not going to be surprised in the least. But when she wants to be, she is far more stubborn than I will ever be. And finally, after a week, I bit the bullet and paid the $35 price for a 1 month subscription. So if you are wondering how much love costs and you're thinking it's $35, you are wrong. That $35 was just the best money I've ever spent. And it's been absolutely wonderful getting to know Amaris, getting to know her family. Like Jake said, wonderful family. I'm so glad to be able to be a part of it. And Amaris, a very attentive and thoughtful individual, playful as well. In fact, while we were standing up there during the ceremony today, she had an undeclared thumb war with me. We were holding hands and slammed my finger down, and I win. And she did it again, and did it in such a way that it almost broke my thumb. So maybe it wasn't an undeclared thumb war. Maybe it was just reinforcing that I'm going to be living under her thumb now. Anyway, what is it that really drew my attention to her initially? A lot of the personality traits, obviously, I love very much about her. But initially, what really stood out to me when I looked at her profile in Christian Mingle is how she articulated her faith. I could tell she was not just a generic, wishy-washy Christian. She was very smart. She was very well spoken in that regard, and from the word go, she has demonstrated that in many ways, and to me, that is the most precious thing about her. Not what you see out here, but what you see, what she shows from in here. And Pastor Plagans was mentioning that one of us had referred to that passage from Romans chapter 15, once in counseling and then again on the wedding invites. That was all her. That was all her, and no surprise at all. And she just has a dynamite faith. I mean, she does know the answer to that question, how much love costs. A couple of wooden beams and a few nails to make us God's own. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a great night.